Are you looking for the best smartwatches? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best smartwatches on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1, Apple Watch Series 9. For fans of the Apple ecosystem, there is no better smartwatch than the Apple Watch Series 9. Interestingly, it did not earn top marks in any of our individual testing metrics. In fact, it ranks 5th out of the 10 models we tested in our health and battery life metrics. What the Series 9 offers is exceptional performance overall, especially considering its price point relative to other high-end watches in our lineup. For Apple and iPhone users, high scores across the board translates to seamless integration into your daily routine. As our lead tester, Sentry Kelly, puts it, Apple standardizes their experience so well. The Watch app, on the Series 9, looks just like the interface you experience on your iPhone, and it makes for super intuitive use. All 3 of the Apple Watches run Apple's industry-leading native apps, which makes them functionally comparable to one another. The Series 9 offers fantastic call quality, with one tester noting that it is basically as good as the iPhone itself. It's easy to scribble texts on the 1.77 square-inch screen, though we generally prefer to use the efficient voice-to-text function. Don't be thrown off by the relative position of the Series 9 in our health metric. If you look closely at the scores, you'll notice that the differences among our top competitors are fractions of a point. We assessed the accuracy of the GPS on each watch in 2 separate tests, and in each instance, this watch proved itself 100% accurate. Thanks to a super bright, 1,260 lux backlit display and minimal glare from an INX glass screen, the Series 9 is one of the best watches we tested for GPS navigation. Number 2, Samsung Galaxy Watch 6. We recognize that many of our awards focus on Apple Watches, which is just a reality of the market share among smartwatch users, at least in the United States. But that doesn't mean that there aren't fantastic options for Android users, among which the Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 stands out. Similarly to the award-winning Apple Watch Series 9, the Watch 6 doesn't shine in any particular metric. It falls short to the Garmin Venu 3 and Google Pixel Watch 2 in our health metric, and ranks 6th out of 10 models tested for battery life. But our side-by-side testing proves its overall value, one that might even make some Apple users jealous. In our tests comparing the smart function of these watches, our lead tester noted that the Watch 6 might have the most clearly laid out and all-encompassing native app of the entire lineup. Android users will feel at home with the intuitive interface of the Watch 6, which includes familiar icons used by other Galaxy and Google devices. Call quality is a notch above the rival Pixel Watch 2, it is very loud and fairly clear, with just a slight muffled sound, one tester remarked, also noting that it didn't exhibit any of the static we noticed from the speaker of the Pixel Watch 2. The 1.77 square-inch display on the Watch 6 is 47% larger than the face of the Pixel Watch, which also makes scribbling or typing texts much easier. Our testers all agree that the haptic bezel is more finicky than a physical, rotating bezel, though this issue can be remedied by upgrading to the Watch 6 Classic. All considered, the Watch 6 is still the top Android option for communication, especially if you want to use your new smartwatch to conduct business. Number 3, Apple Watch Say. The Apple Watch Say presents an extraordinary value among all of the smartwatches in our lineup, particularly so when you compare it side by side with the premium Apple Watches we tested. Its iOS interface runs the same native apps, Apple Watch, Health, and Fitness, as the Series 9 and Ultra 2, which means that all 3 watches are functionally equivalent, as far as apps go. The value of the Say becomes even more apparent when you look closely at our 2 most important test metrics, smart function and health, which comprise 70% of a product's overall score. In these tests, the Say actually scores a fraction, 0.2 points, higher than the Editor's Choice Award-winning Series 9, and only 0.1 point behind the top-end Ultra 2. These results are razor-thin, yet it highlights the fact that the more affordable Say easily hangs with its more expensive siblings in the most meaningful ways. Even though they feature the same screen, an OLED display covered by INX glass, the 1.51 square inch screen on the Say is 17% smaller than the Series 9. The only reason I scored these watches differently is because having a larger screen makes texting and scribbling on the watch keyboard slightly easier, Sentry, our lead tester, noted. While this gives the Series 9 a slight advantage in our smart function tests, the sensors on the Say proved to be a touch more accurate in our fitness tests. The GPS tracking on the Say isn't quite as accurate, which is why we prefer the Series 9 for navigation. However, in our step counter test the Say proved to be 98.98% accurate compared to the 96.84% accuracy of the Series 9. It may seem like we're splitting hairs here, and we are. The point of this direct comparison is that the Say performs as well or better than the Series 9, yet it lists for 2/3 of the price. That's the definition of exceptional value in our book. Number 4. Amazfit BIP 5. If you are seeking an extremely budget-friendly entry into the world of smartwatches, then the Amazfit BIP 5 is a compelling choice. It offers intuitive proprietary apps and third-party apps to extend basic functions and add personalization. This model handles phone calls well, although texting is limited to automated responses. It is also a capable health monitoring and fitness tracking device, even though our testers did have issues with the GPS establishing connections, as well as GPS accuracy. While it may not deliver the more mature experience or expansive ecosystem of apps like what is present in the Apple Store or Google Play Store, you'll find the majority of your app needs met, and a premium map option offers greater features and functions. Its large display and battery life also can't outshine or outlast the most premium models we tested, but you would be hard-pressed to find a better performing or more capable smartwatch at the price point. If you are willing and able to spend more, you can get better all-around performance from the Apple Watch Say Gen 2 or the Samsung Galaxy Watch 6. Number 5. Garmin Venu 3. For adventurous types who need their battery to last for many days, there is no better option than the Garmin Venu 3. This agnostic smartwatch is compatible with Apple and Android phones, and we estimated its battery life at an incredible 143 hours. It can even run for an impressive 20 hours with GPS turned on, more than 3 hours longer than the Ultra 2. Its health-related sensors are only rivaled by the Pixel Watch 2, though the Venu 3 far outstrips that other watch when it comes to tracking your workouts, with ample customization for already well-tuned activity-specific modes. Whether you are interested in metrics for climbing, stand-up paddleboarding, snowshoeing, or pickleball, you'll find not only the workout type to match your fitness routine but also a wealth of trackable data tailored to your specific sport. The trade-off for fitness-focused functionality is that the Venu 3 doesn't offer nearly as mature of an app ecosystem as system-built watches like the Apple Series 9 or Galaxy Watch 6, or even the Pixel Watch 2. The call clarity is exceptional, at least for the caller, though it lacks basic texting functions. You can only preview texts, and only Android users will be able to type with a non-screen keyboard. The Venu 3 also doesn't include a native mapping feature, which is particularly alarming for a smartwatch built by a manufacturer who has staked their claim on GPS devices. This addition would be a boon to the native Garmin app, especially considering that the display quality is particularly good, especially for a watch with a more basic AMOLED display and Gorilla Glass screen. Our test team noted that during outdoor activity, the screen on the Venu 3 has a nice contrast, with minimal glare, giving adventurous types one more reason to consider this sporty smartwatch.